This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world as Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Yay! Welcome, everyone. I want to thank you for all of your support. I've been hearing from a lot of you on a lot of on my Twitter account, on my Facebook responses, and my emails on the Invent America part of our show of Home Talk USA. We talk to inventors. This is done in the second hour each week. As you know, we do broadcast live 3 hours each week from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock Central Time on the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. That's when you can catch us live. And then anytime after that, and you happen to listen to our show down in your area and your different parts of the country, and you hear it, that's our on-demand or our podcast or our where they record the show and just replay it. So, all right, but let me welcome my co-host. They call her the inventor lady herself. Miss Rita Crompton is my sidekick of the show, and she's the one that lines up all the inventors and entrepreneurs, and she explains the patent process, the legal process, and she's our guest, and she's our host now. Rita, how you doing?
I am fine. It is so much fun to always hear your voice. I love it. Well, and being able to get the word out there for our inventors.
We've been getting some good comments on this. Actually, a lot of people want to know how they can get on the show, and we're going to explain that at the end of the show, how they can get their get some free exposure. As you know, we don't charge our guests, right, Rita, to be on the show, so there's no fee.
That's right.
We're not a pay-to-play network. We're just looking for good products, good inventors, the products of the future. And
that's right.
And that all starts through what you do. So explain a little bit about the inventor lady herself, the services that you do, and that people could take advantage of.
So, I was thinking about this because I was writing my opening as I start to take over more and more, and I was thinking, I have been doing this for almost 20 years, which just seems like, basically a lifetime. But, you kind of fall into things as you're following God's path for you, and that's what I was doing. So when I met some folks and said, this is what we do, licensing for inventors became a pathway that, I could help inventors and work with them, give them, this is what you want to do next. These are some good service providers to call. And so for a lot of inventors, they may not decide they want to license. They may decide they want to be a startup. But once they know kind of the rules and the costs of going one way or the other, they can make better business decisions for themselves. And that's what I have been about for all these years, and that's what we're trying to share on Invent America.
And I tell you, it's a process, and you need to listen to this show because something happened a couple weeks ago where you had a inventor that went through the process, the patenting process, the molding process, the distribution process, and come to find out when they were getting ready to launch the product, it became a insurance liability issue because the insurance requirement of that particular product was astronomical. It was like $50 million product liability, something crazy like that.
I know. Wouldn't he have liked to have realized that before he filed a patent?
Yeah.
And sometimes when we're able to say, okay, find out these things first, because every industry has got an issue, it helps them navigate better. And sometimes it's to the point of saying, no, we're not going to do this, or we're going to do it this way, which is a better option before they've made a bunch of mistakes. And, today we're talking about the scoundrels out there. Heads up, everybody. We all know there are scoundrels everywhere in the inventing industry as well. So if we can help inventors, and I'll get an inventor that calls me and say, well, I did this, and it's like, I'm sorry, at this point, there's really nothing I can do for you. There's certain things we can fix, and then there's certain things we can't. The scoundrels, sometimes we can't fix them. And so that's what today's show is dedicated to. And while we can't name names, we can give parameters. It's like, if this happens, don't go there.
We want them red flags to start hitting, and that's the point. Yeah. Get them red flags to go up, Exactly. And there are red flags when you hear something and say, well, I didn't think it could possibly be true. If it sounds too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. Yep.
Exactly. So that's what we're going to focus on today. And I want to let people know, it's like, if you've got a question, I am more than happy to help somebody walk through, that process of, is it a good guy or a bad guy? But we're going to do it on the phone or via emails or whatever. We're not going to, because sometimes it's a very simple question. I can ask someone and say, what about this? And they go, there you go. That's it right there.
Well, virtual conferencing and, what they call it on the iPhone, where you could talk and look at, what am I trying to say? The virtual. We do so much virtual, and I can send out links that we can have a call. So I sign a non-disclosure, non-compete, and somebody then can get on a call and say, this is what I've got, so I can see it. It always helps to see it. And I had to tell a gentleman last week, it's like, you're saying the right words, but when I read between the lines, this has been done a dozen different ways. Yeah. Don't go there. Move on to your next idea. Because it's not going to happen the way you like. Well, give your website out so they can get that information.
Inventorlady.com. It's real easy. Rita at inventorlady.com is my email address, and inventorlady.com is the website. And Michael, everything has been going so well. The website has gotten too big for its boundaries. It is being moved to a dedicated server this week. So if anybody does get on and say, wow, this is really slow, it's being moved. So by the time everybody gets onto it next week, it should be running very nicely.
Yeah, this happened to me like 3 times on my website. Then we had to get that security certificate, which presented problems too, because now the search engines code your UL to make sure that you're not a e-commerce site, because they want to separate the e-commerce sites from the information site. And I'm an information site. Well, Rita, we got to take a short break. That's Rita Crompton, my co-host, my sidekick, the inventor lady herself. Well, we got a great hour for you, so stay with us. We're going to have some upcoming inventors tell their story, talk about their products, talk about the process, right here on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network. You're listening to the Invent America Show with Michael King and Rita Crompton. Always support your local independent hardware stores and garden centers, and let's pledge to hire a vet today. I'm the Cajun Man. Y'all come back now, you hear? Yay!
Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back to the only home improvement show dedicated to you, the American consumer. Don't forget, check out Home Talk TV, HomeTalkTV.com, if you want to watch our television version of our radio show. But this is the Invent America radio program. All right, Rita, who's our guest?
Our guest is Suzanne Cano. Suzanne, did I get the vowels right on that?
You did, yes.
Okay, great. All right. I always worry about that a little bit. So Suzanne specialized in dental imaging and for nearly 3 decades was responsible for sales in geographical locations like LA, Chicago, and New York. So she has had some great expertise in developing online training content as well. But after 27 years, she decided it was time to be her own boss. And with her experience, she invented and patented a new product called LunaLite. And in those processing experiences, dealt with a couple of scoundrels. So, Suzanne, first we want you to tell us about your invention. What is it?
Yes, Rita. So LunaLite is a laser-guided dental X-ray positioner. So it's for the dental and veterinarian market. And it's really to help the end user align the dental X-ray machine with a laser-guided positioner.
Well, cool. I think they used that on me a couple of weeks ago. So in the process, all right, you're very passionate about your scoundrel experience. Tell our audience a little bit about what happened and how you got out of it.
Yes. So as I started the development of the company, obviously I was a novice. I really didn't know where to go and who to talk to. And so I did a lot of research on companies and independent companies. And I ended up going with one independently. And we started the project and we worked out what I needed, what was, what I needed to develop this, this product. And, from their expertise, I was hoping I was talking to an expert, and I was hoping that they would give me some good advice and move forward with the development. Unfortunately, I think it was 7 months into it, and I had absolutely nothing, like no crickets after I gave them the money up front. And we started the project. There was a few phone calls in between, a few emails about how we were going to develop this and whatnot. And they would send me some really pictures of something that I didn't even know what it was. And I thought, well, is that really my development? So then it just went on. And then finally, this independent development company just didn't respond to my email. So I had paid with my money with a credit card, and I had to fight him. And for 3 or 4 months, with the help of the credit card company, we were able to get my money back. So that was one of them. Then I got hit with another one right off the bat. It was one after another. It was one roadblock after another development company asking for money up front. And they were more of, and I was trying to be more careful the second time around. And they had such a great background as far as valid people they worked with and universities and whatnot. And unfortunately, they misled me in the contract, indicating that I was going to pay a certain amount of money, and then without them even mentioning the second phase of it was where the prototype would come into place, and that would cost me, I'm talking about thousands of dollars, and it was unbelievable, where I was left with just PDF files. And here's your thousands of dollars worth of money for nothing. So that I couldn't fight them on, and then I started learning from that. I went independently to other companies where I'm not going to pay up front, and next step was to really just make sure that I was going to watch it the next time.
I think that's part of the key, is that what we've learned over the years is that, each step is an independent step, and you make your next business decision based on what you learned at that last step. Right. And then you move on and you pick the service provider you need. Everybody needs service providers. We see inventing as kind of being a three-legged stool. You've got the inventor, all right, you got the consumer, but you got to have those service providers to build it and help get it out there. And without one or the other, it's a stool tips over.
Right.
So we're looking then at being able to, avoid the scoundrels. And I think money up front is one of the first tells.
Yes.
And no accountability. Yeah.
Right. No, and I 100% agree. I just feel like now I know better, and everything should be in milestones. Like, here's our first steps, here's the second steps, and I will pay you when we go through our milestones.
Right. So, kind of tying this up, because I hear the clock ticking on me, what advice, because this is important for our new inventors out there, is that what advice do you have for them?
My advice is to really make sure that you don't put all the money up front, because once you give them the money up front, it's like they're not going to work anymore. And also create milestones for them. Make sure that they're achieving it at a certain time. And it's what you want. It's not what they want. It's what you know. You know the industry more. It's what you know is going to work in the industry. And really kind of do your research on the company as well.
Yeah, one of the things that I give away for free is a work-for-hire agreement. So you can lay out the terms that you're dealing with for that service provider. And it gives you then some really good knowledge on those stepping stones on, this gets done and then you get paid, and this gets done and then you get paid. So it helps you to manage the situation rather than managing you.
Correct. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So your product now, it's out there. It's coast to coast, probably worldwide. You are amazing. And thank you so much for being on the show with us today, because your
Susan,
advice is going to help a lot of inventors.
That's Suzanne Cano. Thank you so much. I tell you, the advice you gave us is really going to help. I apologize, and I'm so sorry that you had to experience the fraud, but when one door closes, another one opens, and we definitely want to thank you. And we're going to do everything we can on this show to try to help you out, try to help your company out, your product out, whatever we can do. Just let us know, okay?
Thank you so much, guys.
All right, we're going to take a short break. Along with the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton, you're listening to the Invent America show right here on the Home Talk USA Radio Network. I'm the Cajun Man from the Bayou Land, the originator, not the duplicator. Please don't accept no substitutions. Man, I was green before green was even cool. All right, we're going to take a short break. Right, Rita?
Yes, sir, we are.
All right, we'll be right back.